Hello everyone and welcome to another Jurassic Park 30th anniversary LEGO review here on Jurassic Collectibles. Tonight we are looking at set 76960 Brachiosaurus Discovery. As you can see, this set is remaking the iconic moment where John Hammond, Ellie Sattler and Alan Grant see the Brachiosaurus for the first time. And what I really like with this set is it's a bit of a two-in-one, because we have this iconic moment, but we also have the raptor nest that Grant finds later in the film, and the tree that him, Lex and Tim take shelter in when they have their encounter with the Brachiosaurus later in Jurassic Park as well. Now, really cool inclusion here, the first ever LEGO Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler. We have had a Jurassic World version of a Wrangler, but never a Jurassic Park one, so very cool. You can see the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary branding continues on the sides. On the top, we have got a 1:1 scale figure of John Hammond, and on the back you can see the play features. Again, the gorgeous silhouetting we saw on the visitor centre, the idea that the Brachiosaurus can rest on its tail to lean back on its hind legs. Interested to see if that works in practice. The Jeep, Grant, Sattler and Hammond. The little platform from later in the film where Grant, Tim and Lex feed the Brachiosaur, and then a closer look at the Wrangler. So a very, very awesome set. Never imagined that LEGO would do a Brachiosaurus, so a very, very cool inclusion in the line. Unfortunately, the Brachiosaurus does mean that the price of this set is very high. It is £75, and for the value proposition here, you're not getting a lot in terms of the builds. Granted, the tree does appear very detailed, but you're not getting a massive amount purely because of the Brachiosaurus here. So I will say right off the bat, 3 minifigures and the dinosaur. I do feel like an additional minifigure in the form of Donald Gennaro, who is missing in this wave, would have added some extra value to this set. But with all of that said, guys, that is really it for the box. Let's open it up and see what we have inside. I'm very curious to see how the Brachiosaurus is looking in the box. So we'll assess how many bags we got. Remember, we got 5 with the visitor centre. So we'll see what we've got here. So I'm betting it's going to be 3, which is 1, 2, okay, it's 4. So 2, 3 and 4. And we then have the parts to make up the Brachiosaurus in these paper bags, and also our instructions and stickers. So let's move this back. You can see that is everything grabbed together. Quick look at the sticker sheet. So you can see a fair few stickers for the Jeep and the sign in this set. And without further ado, let's take this and transform it into the Brachiosaurus encounter. See you in a second, guys. Okay everyone, so we are back, and to address the sauropod sized thing in the room, quite literally, yes, this is what you get for £75. So I think it's fair to say that this wave, while there are some fantastic sets and inclusions, you can see this is the iconic moment from Jurassic Park represented quite well in a set, but the cost and value of these sets is astronomical. How you're paying £75 for this amount of LEGO, granted the Brachiosaurus here is a new mould, but paying £75 for this amount of LEGO, obviously I alluded to value issues in the previous review of the visitor centre. I just don't feel like these sets have been fairly costed by the LEGO group. I would expect this to maybe be a £60 set, just taking into account the amount of LEGO that you get external to the Brachiosaurus, you know. It's detailed, yes, but it's not a huge amount of LEGO. So I think it's really important to set the scene with that. We will move things out the way to take a look at the thing that you probably want to take a look at the most, which is this LEGO Brachiosaur. You can see really nice moulded figure, nice little blue patterning throughout. and it does have some studs on top that you can place figures on. Tail has got articulation, the neck has got articulation, the head, as you can see just there, has got that really nice stylized eye. It captures the Brachiosaurus eye perfectly, and we can open up the mouth just there as well. As you can see, the mouth does open at 2 different points, which looks really, really cool. And all in all, the Brachiosaurus is a decent new mold. You can see when it's like this, when it's in its fully upright position, we can also lean it back on its tail to get the pose from Jurassic Park, but you cannot articulate it at all, so it has to be at the neck point fully back like this in order to work on the hind legs. If you don't do that, then it will not balance. So a really, really cool Brachiosaurus rendition. I have to admit, it feels undersized for what it is. When we compare it with Alan Grant just there, you can see it's a large dinosaur, but in the scale of LEGO dinosaurs, this isn't particularly different to something like the T-Rex. You know, if I was to grab the T-Rex from the Visitor Centre set, you can see that scale-wise, although it's tall, it doesn't feel dramatically different to the T-Rex. So I understand that it was hard to do this in scale, or to the scale that we would have wanted as fans. I do think this could have been a bit larger, and that would have helped the value of the set and would have also made it integrate a lot better with the other dinosaurs. So it is what it is. If you've been wanting a LEGO Brachiosaurus, it's a nice inclusion, but definitely could be a bit larger in my opinion. So moving the Brachiosaur out, we'll bring our figures in and take a closer look at them. And I will bring them closer to the camera. So up first, we have got Dr. Alan Grant, as you can see just there. If we take the hat off to get a closer look at the head sculpt, or the head print, just let that focus. I believe this is the same, if not very similar torso-wise, to the figure that came in the command compound. Or not the command compound, the control room set. He does come with a Velociraptor claw. And it is the face print we've seen for Alan in this wave. I don't feel like that face print is quite spot on for Sam Neill. I think the previous version was a little bit more accurate. But it is your basic Alan Grant minifigure. If you haven't got a Jurassic Park version of Alan Grant before, then this is a welcome inclusion. Now the cool one to me is Ellie Sattler. She does come in a brand new shirt, so this is not the same shirt that was included in the previous figures releases. This one is a more coral colour, whereas the other releases were more bright pink. And this is definitely more accurate to Ellie's apparel in the film. You can see the colour and detailing on that shirt is spot on, so I'm actually really, really happy with this one. And we do get the little piece of vegetation that she has in the deleted scene in the film. She picks up the leaf. Again, the same legs with the same problem mentioned in the previous review. A really nice hairpiece for Ellie this time around. And you can see 2 different facial prints, one when she is seeing the Brachiosaurus for the first time. It's unfortunate that Ellie actually has a reaction to seeing the Brachiosaur and Grant doesn't. Grant just has the one face. That is a shame. I would have maybe liked to have seen a unique face print for this set, but it is what it is. And then lastly we have Dr. John Hammond. You can see captures the safari shirt aesthetic well. Comes with the amber cane as we would expect, and the head sculpt underneath there, pretty good for Hammond. Doesn't include the short white sleeves like the version in the D2C set. I do feel like short sleeves would have been a good inclusion for this figure, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, minifigures tend to suffer in these sets. So 3 characters. I think, again, coming back to the value proposition, this set would have benefited from the inclusion of Gennaro, just to add some extra value and give us another character that we haven't seen. Now, the bulk of the build in this set is this tree. This is designed to be the tree that the Brachiosaurus eats from, so you can see it's well scaled, but they combine a couple of different scenes from the film in here really well. So if we bring the tree a bit closer, just going to angle one of our lights around so we can get a little bit more light on this as well. You can see we have got the Brachiosaurus sign. He says breaking it off. Unfortunately, in the carnivorous red instead of the green it should be in, but it's still then. It's still there, so that's what it is. And the no flashing sign. We have got the cracked egg to represent the nest that Dr. Grant finds. And we have our little frog just there, represented as a piece of floral. You can see that there is a ton of foliage detail all around this build. Looks like a really, really good, convincing tree build, actually, I would say. They've done a really nice job of sort of capturing the curves down here that you see with the tree where the raptor nest is in the film, where it almost has the roots really emphasised here. Then further up we have got this little platform, the idea being that this is where Grant feeds the Brachiosaurus in the film with Lex and Tim. So you can see we can angle our Brachiosaurus down to say hello to Grant if we wanted to. It's a decent inclusion. You would be able to fit a couple of figures in there, so you could definitely put Lex and Tim there if you wanted to as well. And then we have got all of the vegetation on top of the tree, as you can see just there. So lots and lots of vegetation pieces. It's actually really ironic because I feel like although this uses just 2 bags of parts, this is one of the best LEGO tree builds I've seen. You can see it sits really naturally, it looks really good, and actually a couple of these with the bases adjusted would be a really good baseline for a tree display as part of a larger Jurassic Park diorama. So I do really like the tree build here. Again, the value just makes it a little bit difficult to fully appreciate. And then lastly we have Jeep Wrangler 18. Really cool to finally get a Jurassic Park Jeep in the LEGO collection. You can see stickers on the side for the Jurassic Park logo, 18 Jeep. You've got the front with a print for the grille, captures the aesthetic of that really well. You've got a sticker on the top, unfortunately mine has a slight mark just there, but you have a sticker on the top, the side of the Jeep, and then the back complete with that iconic red tyre. Again, the second red stripe just there, shout out to Collect Jurassic. And this fantastic roll cage which you can angle back to access the interior. You could probably take that off entirely if you wanted. I think it's a really, really solid build for the Jeep actually. I really do like this one. I'm not sure if we needed this roll bar piece on the front. I don't know if it looks better with or without it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But it's great to finally have a classic Jurassic Park Jeep that is scaled to the rest of the line that LEGO have released. And this has been designed so you can fit all 3 figures inside. So there's space in the back seat just here for one character, so we can sit Grant there. And if I just remove Hammond and Sattler's accessories, and just place her inside as well, then I haven't fully secured them, but you can see there is plenty of room for the 3 figures to be displayed inside the Jeep. So really cool inclusion of the Jeep, a really nice build, really happy that we finally have an official one. And with all of that said guys, that is a closer look at Brachiosaurus Discovery. I'm very, very conflicted about this set, purely because it is a very, very nice set, but it is incredibly overpriced. If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, and in particular this iconic moment, then I think you'll really appreciate having this set in hand, and I think you'll enjoy the fact that it does capture that moment so well. However, I do think the price point is a bitter pill to swallow, and with a slightly larger Brachiosaurus and the inclusion of Donald Gennaro, who has been missing from the line for many years at this point, this would have been an even better set and would have been much easier to justify purchasing. Ultimately, if you're a fan of LEGO dinosaurs and you've been waiting for a Brachiosaurus to get added to the collection, then this is a set you will want to pick up, but maybe do wait to pick this one up when it's on sale. That's it for this review, guys. Make sure to like, favourite and subscribe, and until the next video, take care and have a great week.